Good morning. Uh, so, oh, I am going to be, uh, I, yeah, the title is a bit off. I'm gonna blame No Sleep for that. Basically, it's not the 2D ARPG. This is just MMO stuff. Um, why? So I am working on a online structure. So just taking the time to basically put together a it's a mouthful, but basically the we're dealing with databases, which means that this is data oriented design. However, usually there's a level of abstraction that's supposed to happen there. We don't have that level of abstraction anymore or any longer, and we're going to have to be dealing with that design pattern more directly, which comes with its own challenges because the server type that we've chosen to try to execute this on is they don't really have any writers, they just have a bunch of callbacks. Right? And so we're just going to be navigating that. And what you have here is already a technically completed project for a multiplayer game. Technically a massively multiplayer game already. We're just going to add some fine-tunes to it, but these are very important fine-tunes. So one of them is, for example, being able to create a token for authorization or getting the persistent data to recognize your account through like Google or iOS or whatever. And then just creating an account for you. I'm not going to be showing too much of the server side stuff. Hopefully, I don't think I'll need to, but I will be showing the. So this is already hooked into a dedicated server. So if I build this and then push it out, and anybody could really play. It's not really much. It's just a tutorial thing anyway. Let's run it so you can see what it's about. It's just gobble them. It's a gobble type game. Right, so we just go around and gobble up the food, and as we gobble up, we continue to get bigger and get slower, but our points go up on the top left. It's kind of small, but how it is. So the step that we should be taking next is we need to get this so that way let's explain what's happening over here. So on the server side, it's producing all of these different elements for the client. Now, obviously, the way that servers and clients work is that every client that is currently has access to this database is being told to produce these foods. So every one of them is updated with the status of these. We create an instance of them to represent the data, right? And so once we gobble these up on the second player, they will similarly see food disappear or be gobbled up by me, or I see them, whatever. But it's a very different design than I usually use, right? Usually, and I think most people in Unity, when they make like the player controller exists on the object that is actually being represented, right? This object right here. But in truth, this isn't the player controller. This is just a circle. The player controller is still accepting input, so it's acting more like a listener for inputs than it is than it is actually to display me moving things around. It's a pretty interesting design. This is the circle that's actually representing the player. You'll see the entity identity is 2445. I don't think I can see the player. Maybe I can go to Game Manager. I can see the player's identity. I should probably expose it. But yeah. Can we increase this from here? Once it's done, it's done. It's on initialize. Okay. But yeah, this is basically it. So what do we want to do? Today, what I'm trying to get accomplished is, again, validation. We need to be able to go through Google and then validate this from happening to happen. Next thing we want to do is inventory and trading. So if another player gets next to me, if I press the Q button, I want to bring up my points and be able to send them my points. Or better yet, I'm going to probably make like a place where I can just put my points. It'll deduct it from these points, and then it'll put it into that place. And then the second player should be able to open up that place, and they can see, like, they can get my points if they choose. Right? And just drag and drop my points into their points or whatever. Now, this normally isn't that big of a deal, but we're doing this through the server. And unfortunately, this then also means we need to employ DoD, which is data-oriented design. Normally through object-oriented, this is just brain dead. You just do it. DoD, not so brain dead. We gotta have a little bit of a plan when we approach it. All right, and we wanted to keep it as generic as possible, which is going to be interesting. Well, for this, it's easy, but for like a real situation where you have like items that can all do different things, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Grail? Hey, Nick, how are you doing? Agario? What's Agario? Am I mumbling something or something? Because I'm like super tired, so maybe I'm not speaking English, but I think I am. Alright, so let's get started. So you'll notice that at the top over here, we're already even connected to the server. Again, once we start this game, we go straight into the server. The first thing we're going to do is change that. We're going to be able to check if first we're going to be able to create an authentication, check if we have a name, and then enter the name that we want if we don't, and start the game that way. Right, so we're going to take it in steps. First, let's make it so that way we can add our name in-game. Instead, because right now I have it over here on the game manager, that we just start with this name. Art was here. Alright, let's get started. So, a lot of the game flow happens over here. It's super simplistic. Agar.io. I believe you. It's not a novel idea, but it's a simple enough game to test out this system. All right, so the way that this works is first we clear the. So this is predominantly an online-driven game. We don't want any data on this to persist, right? So if the player has, let's say you're making an MMORPG or whatever, we don't want data to persist in the same way because people can spoof data. So the first thing we always do is we just clear the player prefs. Right? We don't want them to be able to carry over information. Typical. No, I really don't. I mean, I could look it up. Give me a second. Agar.io. It led me to... Oh, yeah. Yeah. I see it. The first name they allow me to use is Nick. You can select your skin. Oh, you gotta pay money for these. Or you can just create. Play. Ah, I got eaten like immediately. Holy cow, there's a ton of people playing. Play. Yeah, this is effectively... They made the wall invisible. Oh, that's funny. I got eaten like... Oh, wow. No. We're good, brother. We're good. It's a fun game. There's a guy named Anonymous at the very top of the board. Wait, you can spit stuff out too? Well, I mean, I don't really think of this as a distraction. It's more like... Oh, these guys are evil. Alright, yeah, that's good enough. They had, like, attacks that make them split apart and stuff. That's craziness. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, so let's just make sure. Yep, we're good. So this is our way of hooking in. First, we make sure that we cap our FPS at 60. The way that this works, SpacetimeDB, is, and we need the SDK for this to work. So if you're planning on making this, you need the SpacetimeDB SDK. Just go to their website and you can download it. It's fine for your operating system. Or I think no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about sleep. Need to sleep. Just do it for Unity. You're good. So here, you'll notice that we store our connection. We also store our local identity, and we do our singleton stuff with an instance. It is multiplayer already. All we're doing is just putting in, first I'm going to put in the multiplayer part. So like if I did a build, like after I put in the login, if I did a build, you'd be able to play this, and I'd be able to play this at the same time. So it is multiplayer. If I put it out right now, it is multiplayer, but you and I would have just the same name running around. So I'd probably just delete the name or something. I don't know. Or just put in a randomizer for the name. I don't know. But it is multiplayer right now. Like, both of us could play it at the same time right now. So in other words, the game is done. In that regard. I'm just, for the purposes of a later project, I am, also trying to figure out like how to handle authentication, separating out instances. So basically that's like, if I can get to that today, that'd be good. But the idea is, like, let's say that you're playing and then I'm playing and then you're in your own instance, I'm in mine. I could potentially drift into your instance and things like that, or drift out of your instance if I'm too far away from you. So stuff like that is what I'm trying to get behind, as well as the ability to just like manipulate inventory and items in a very simplistic way, keeping this as small and simple as possible. So when it comes to online games, or everybody does it differently. These guys, they use a builder, right? So first we call this to create an instance of the builder, and then we populate the builder. We populate the builder with onConnect. So what these are doing? These are callback handles. So this right here, when the build, so this is building our connection to the database. The database itself is going to ping back to the builder when certain things happen. This is listening for when those things happen. This is subscribing us to this listener. Right? So when this listens and hears something, it's going to fire off this. That's the idea. So on connect, so once the player comes in and they actually connect, then we're going to do handle connect, which is where most of the work that we're going to take care of right now is handled. If we get an error, we want to let ourselves know in Unity. If we disconnect, obvious. The server URL, it's just the server URL. It's a general one I just made up at the top. Same thing with the module name. You could use whatever you like. You should try to keep it unique because, you know, you'll get collisions. That's about it. Cool beans. Yeah, if you're not used to it, Git can be pretty overwhelming. Alright, so next is the token. So in this case, this is what's called an anonymous token pattern, right? This is in the case of if we don't have any kind of login situation going on, right? Like the player has failed to log in with just about everything, or if it's like us now, where we're the developer and we're just debugging stuff or testing things out, developing. We don't want to have to log in through our Google account or Apple IO account or anything like that. We just want to log in anonymously. That's what this is. This is called an anonymous pattern, and that's what it does. Right. So then we just set we build it, we call build on this, and then we assign it to the we cache it over here with the connection. So this is how we connect to the database. So you'll see it pop up like here, right? So now these are specific. So when we talk databases, we got to think along the lines of columns and rows, right? Specifically, and tables. So what does that mean? Think like an Excel spreadsheet, with multiple tabs at the bottom that are possible, right? So in this case, we're already in a specific tab. That tab is this right here. Right? This means that our tab means that, or when we've opened our version of the database, we're giving ourselves access to everything. So in this case now, you have other players who are there. They might have their own situations, like their own inventories, their own stats, whatever. This is giving us the ability to read from all of that. This is important because we want to know where other players are relative to us, right? And since all of this is coming from the server, this is how we get in touch with other players. This is one call, right? And of course, we have on applied here. So if this is actually successful and we apply this subscription, then we just do this. And so this part right here, there is, so this is slightly different. Basically, what we have is a circle, an entity, food, and the player, right? And these are actually classes on the server. And so what we're doing is these classes create tables. And so what we're saying here is when a new circle is inserted onto the circle table, that we handle on insert for that circle. All right, and let's go down and take a look at exactly how the workflow is going. There we go. So this is going to, where are we? Yeah, okay, good. This is going to take in two. We always, from this type of server type, we always have to take in a context, right? In this case, it's called an event. All right, Nick, take care. Take it easy, my friend. So the event context here, basically what it's doing is whatever is being passed from the server, right? It's an arbitrary wrapper, effectively. We can use this to get information from other parts of the server. The circle right here is just going to give us back whatever was actually the information, the data about the actual circle. So this is more like just general information about the database, and this is information specific to that circle. Right? Pretty cool. So in this case now, we don't actually need the context, but we are going to use this value here to instantiate our circle. So this is how we actually take something that is data on the server and then make it real on the client using wow, Spacetime DB. Okay. So we assume when a circle is made that that circle is a player, right? And if it is a player, then we get that player's ID, which is already assigned from the server over here. So this value, this circle value, is, if we click it, it's not going to lead us to anywhere. This is just dead-end code because the real code is on the server. But you can still see some of the stuff that's here, right? We have the entity ID, player ID. Like, changes here don't matter because this is on the client, so the client can't change anything. I mean, you could change stuff here, but the server will just override it when you actually play the game. It tells you right here, actually. Yeah, this file will not be saved. Okay, sorry. So yeah, basically we have a reference of, this is a struct on the server. We have a reference to this. So let's get terminology out of the way. So what this comes from is called a schema or a schematic that is on the server side. The entire thing is a struct. Within, I think it's class, the module class. And so each one of these are predefined. So when we tell the server, hey, to produce a circle, in other words, when we insert a new circle, so this is going to happen when a player logs in, right? Like if we go to handle connect, I think, no, it's down here. When we go down to, oh brother, this part is actually important. Where is it? Please don't do this. My eyes are 48 hours behind on sleep. Yeah, build here. We should have... Oh, there it is. Okay, there. So when we do this, enter game, we pass in the player's name, right? And this will create a circle for us on the player side. And then once we do that, once we create the circle, we call insert on circle, or rather we insert the new circle into the database. That's going to be this. Well, actually, the way that this works is first we check to see if we already have a circle related to this player. Not based on the name, it's based on the player's identity, which is set over here. But we check to see if we have one, and if we do, then we just spawn that one. If we don't, then we create a new one. And that new one is wooxed together over here on circle insert. So then we tell the prefab manager to spawn the circle, and then we pass in the information from the server about this. Now, it's important to note what type of information is here. Nothing here is super conclusive. This is truly just initialization, so it's like the name of the creature. And I think, yeah, just the name, really. I think that's all it is. Well, actually, let's check. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so it's just like the name and the speed, the initial speed that the player can go at. Right? But this is irrelevant because there's something else that's managing that information for us, and it's going to keep the server as the place of authority for truth, not the client. You'll see it in a second. Actually, it's right here. It's right below it. So this is it right here. The entity on update. So think of this like in Unity, Unity's own update schedule. So on the server, we have an update schedule. And once we've connected, and then we've spawned a circle is technically also an entity. So very similar to how this was set up over here, where we connect, we also have this on update. And on update, that's when this happens. Right? First we check, do we have try get value the entity ID? And if we have no ID, then we do we return. Otherwise, we do this. Update the entity. So what is this? This is just a call on the specific entity that it's just typical polymorphism. We just call this on the entity, and the entity will handle its own logic. But this is just happening every 50 milliseconds. All right. There we go. So that's the process. And so when this happens, actually it's worth it to open this up. Remember how I told you there's always a context, right? Well, not for these. The reason why is because this doesn't directly communicate with the server. This does. Right? So this is a level of abstraction from the server now. And what we get here is the entity's value. And so the server is going to tell us, hey, on the client side, the entity moved this direction, sure. But once the server comes back and says, yeah, actually, this is where the client is, this is how it's doing it. Right? So we have a lerp target position. And then in our actual update on the client, we just lerp to that position. and that creates like a smooth look to try to keep us not showing any level of desync. That's it. That's the setup. That's the whole setup for effectively speaking to a server from a data-oriented, a non abstracted data-oriented server, or should I say, where the data orientation is not abstracted out. Okay. So our first order of business is we need to make a method. Where is this thing again? I lost track of it again. There it is. Okay. Okay. So there we go. Basically now, oh, and then we just do this. Okay. There. So now all we need to do is set up the UI, and then have it pass. We could probably just do this. No, let's not do it. Yeah, let's do it. There we go. Keep things simple. All right, let's get into it. So now we're just going to make this part over here. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. What am I doing? Sleep. The sometimes sleep is super, but doggone. Awesome. Okay. Okay, next. Text area name. All right, let's add some functionality to this. Oh, whoops. Wait. Mono behavior. Even if this is just a test project, it's really good to keep your projects organized. All right, next is um my brain is dead right now, so I'm just gonna name things the first thing that comes to my head. Yeah. How do you do this again? I could have sworn it's like button.add listener or something. Maybe it is, it's just not coming up. Let's do this. No, it's not there. I'll be right back.
Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start looking as lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start looking as lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor, the pain is over, feel the darkness take control. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight we invincible. Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again just to set me free. Why do I, baby? Why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby? Why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby? Why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby? Why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away into fucking love, how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me?
Hey, really, I don't believe in it right now. I really want to get this done, brother. I don't know. I'm not gonna sleep even if I lie down for another 24 hours. I won't sleep until I get this done. I know myself. I'm out of it, but you know what it is. Really is. Hey, Nepal, how you doing, man? I didn't even notice. I'm sorry, brother. Like, I was here and then not here. The game shouldn't be running. I don't know what happened there, but it's fine. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah. So we're actually logged in, or we're in the server. Alright, so you can see the way that the game is set up over here. But we're not actually logged in until we do this. Oh, whoops. Then I hit start game, which should put me into the game, but I didn't make the way to disable this. Let's disable this. There we go. All right, let's make sure that we connect the different parts to the puzzle. I think we just need to drag this here. Nope. Button. And... what? What is this class? Image, Text Mesh Pro, input field. Okay. Is it Text Mesh Pro UGUI? Guess so. I think I need to look it up. Mess with it a little bit. Okay, there we go. I see it. I just saw it a second ago. TM field. There it is. Okay, now we're working. Back in business. See. Eating something and taking a... It must be nice relinquished. You're good. Thank you, Nepal. Gotta do research on my next vid. It's gonna be about Unity going after... I've heard something about that. I used to be like, how dare they go after little guys? But these days, I am very skeptical as to how innocent those devs are, really. I randomly target them. They must have done something wrong. I think I've heard about it. I just haven't had the time to look into it. Like, I've seen it pop up on my YouTube feed a lot. Like, maybe 2 or 3 times. But you know... I'd rather be deving than... Like, it really has to... I remember when the last thing blew up. Like, I didn't even know about it until, like, 2 weeks later, and it was because a friend on Steam popped up and he was like, hey, this happened. And I was like, what happened? And the weirdest part is, he's just a gamer, right? Like, he doesn't do game dev, but he knew more about game dev stuff than I did, as far as news goes. So I was like, what are you talking about? And I mean, it's I when I'm in it, I find I don't have the time to really pay attention to that stuff. Not that it's not important to pay attention to, just I don't know. It's not enough. You know, I think this stuff is already demanding enough on my brain. Like, um, so we need to increase the size on this font because it's like super tiny. But what does that look like? It's still tiny. Go 50. Go 60. That looks alright. Do they let me change it or no? I can't see it. I don't see it. Fair enough. I don't see it. Alright, let's do it like that. Okay. Alright, let's try running it now and see what we're up to. Wait, did I even connect it? Oh, we forgot to connect it. Where is it? Over here. Yeah, we forgot to connect it. There we go. Alright, let's create an MMORPG, boys. Well, it didn't take the name, but that's weird. That means that it doesn't mean that the call failed. It just means that the name failed to set. I think we forgot. Yeah, we forgot to call set name. Ha ha ha. So when we go here, we have to do game manager set name. Field dot text. There we go. Okay. So now we have a rudimentary login system. Right? Like, this is just... So now we can go something like Billy Boy, start, and granted our color kind of matches with this. Yeah. And yep, we're still connecting properly. So let's just do this. There we go. I don't know if they did something wrong. From what it sounds like, what I got from it was that it had something to do with... It's so here's what I know, Relinquish. It sounded fishy, right? From what I heard about it, it sounded fishy. But I just didn't do any digging into it. It just sounded like drama. And, you know, like, once you pick up drama, it's like you just, like, turn off, basically. So it was that something to deal with how they had contractors that were working with them, and they're using like a paid version of Unity and didn't register them into the group and stuff like that. That's basically what it came down to. And so Unity was like, we don't like that. And then they're like, but that's not what we did. And that's as much as I know about it. But it just seems too much like drama. Okay, so we could technically push the game now, and everyone could go around playing this. Awesome. Unlike the other game that I played, Nick actually mentioned it, that they have like special abilities and stuff, which is pretty cool. I would never have imagined that this type of game would have evolved into that. Everything is possible. But yes, right now you can see over here we are connected to a server, and we are playing on a server. So I could potentially push this out on itch, and everyone could play, I guess. And yes, you can eat other players already. That functionality is already there. I don't know what happens when you do it, though. That would be nice to know, right? I have no clue what happens when you actually eat another player. Because I did not make a game over screen. I guess you probably could go back and or just immediately start over. I have to take a look at what's happening on the server side to see what it does. I think it just makes you immediately create a new character or something like that. Well, not, you know, get a new circle. Alright. So next step is getting authorization. Well, actually, we need to do something else before that, because this is no bueno. So we need to go here to the game manager. And we're actually just going to take this. Actually, we just need that. Alright, so we're going to prevent it from connecting immediately. And, and we're going to put that over here. Part. Okay. And from there, we don't need this anymore, so we can just do this. Let's get rid of this. Where is it? No, there it is. We don't need this anymore. And put this here. Okay, there we go. Now let's try it out. Okay, so we can do something like Big Bob. Game. There we go. Hey. So now that this is working perfectly fine, let's figure out how to get... So right now this is an anonymous pattern, because this this database doesn't have a anonymous for some reason. You have to make the actual pattern yourself. So we did that over here. Pretty simple little pattern, and then we get the authorization token. Right. So that's pretty cool on its own. But here's the thing. A lot of these, like Google, for example, they use JWT for their token. And we kind of want it to be dynamic. So that means that I don't want to have to do this multiple times. I don't want to have to do this part multiple times. Like for each side, because I guess we're going to have to show a little bit of the server code. But basically, when they go in, if they have this token here, I think what we're going to do is on the server, check the player credentials, and then find the one that they're using. If they're using Google or whatever app, whatever their web connection setup is. And if they're using that, then we just say, okay, we're automatically going to log you in through that account. That's the idea. So I don't believe we're going to do that. I think we're going to do this. No, we can't do that. You know why? Because we need data persistence, and every time that we create the authentication token, it's anonymous. Ah, see? Oh no, wait a second. It's possible. We could do it like this, because we're going to check on the server anyway. Then we can actually give them the correct authentication. That's what I'm thinking. Like right here. Yeah, that's what I think. Okay, I guess I'll show the yeah, let's do it. This is the server code with the server side for the connection. Right. Really, what's happening here is the Spacetime DB has their own attributes. So this is, for example, a reducer is something that was called on the client. So we can call connect on the client. This is automatically generated by Spacetime between when we call connect and the server. It'll just sample where it's calling it, and then after, or it'll sample the connection and get the correct information it needs to give to this. The attempted connection, this thing, this part. Right, so technically the build has to be done first before we call connect on, because like over here is where we go con, store the build on it, and then we just do con, and then we call connect on the con. So telling the connection to connect. I'm kind of pissed. I'm reading the documentation right now for Spacetime, and it doesn't look like they have an automated way of getting authentication done. It looks like what they have is they will accept any of them, but they have no built-in way of compacting a JWT from them. So it looks like what I'm going to have to do is... it looks like they want me basically to install the Google and the Apple SDKs onto the client. So that's crazy work. Or I could make a custom backend one. Those are the three options I have. It's crazy. I mean, this is all part for the core when you're using these new systems. Relinquished. That would be good question to ask the guy on the 28th, because they have their own auth system. Yeah, they probably just made a custom one. They probably just made a custom one. One sec. Let's actually move this around, because these two should be at the top. So, hmm, get rid of this. So this is bad. So, here. I mean, you could technically do it, but that's actually not the way. They have an row security line set up inside of the server that you're supposed to use to do that. All right. Let's think about this like as if we're C-sharp programmers. I don't want this... oops. I don't want this getting way too polluted, but we're going to have to do some stuff. So we know that we're going to need an abstraction, because the idea is that we want to create a generalized way for... I don't want this to just be Google, and then I have to make one for Apple, and then one. I just want one that's going to collect one type, and if it's not a matching type, then we check with a different type. So if it's not a JWT, then we check for whatever other type could be possibly available. So, all right. This is my shot in the dark at doing this. We'll see where it leads. So we're going to use a interface to just wrap it. I think we're going to need... type is this? Identity? I mean, it has to be a string, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to need to do this asynchronously. Mark this off as async. Let's add some documentation for this also. So now we need to create a concrete of it. Get rid of this. Where is it? So this is a ability script. And I guess we'll call this authorizations. Do we... should we do it this way? No, let's do it this way.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
All right.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind
I thought this was already built in.
they're just looking for attention.
Guess not.
Ruthlessness prevail. It's time now, light your fires for ascension.
Interesting.
To rise from the ashes. You're showing you're a phoenix. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn.
I wonder. I think I have I don't know. You know what? Hold on. I think I have Firebase on this computer still. Give me a sec. Because I could potentially just use Firebase's authentication without having to use anything else for Firebase. So give me one moment. Right? Since we've abstracted this out, then this would be pretty cool if we could just do that. Where is... Hopefully I didn't delete Firebase. Well, the Firebase install. Nope, we got it. Okay, Firebase authentication. Nice. Okay, so let's just go over here, and I think it's just what is it? I think it's under Assets, Import Package, Custom Package, and Firebase authentication. Import. So you can just go straight to the Firebase website and just get this. The whole SDK comes with all of the different parts. So in this case, I'm only taking one part of it, which is the authentication part. So I should now be able to piggyback off of the Firebase's authentication system to get a token. Alright, in the meantime, while it's installing, let's see if we can do something else. I'm gonna just goof around. We know we need this. So let's see, system. Sometimes system has stuff. Net. Net. Ooh, what the heck? Okay. I think we can use HTTP. And text regular expressions, I guess. All right, let's try these. So let's make this first private static read only. And we're just going to create the HTTP client here. Oh, cool. It already knows what I'm trying to do. That's nice. So now let's try using this. Before I know I install Firebase, but I just want to see if I could use this to get around it also. If we can create, like, this is the .NET way of getting the parent client. So we'll see if it works. If it does, that would be pretty awesome. Right? So from here, all we need to do is just get the token. This is an await call, so it's our 8. Is this creating? Yeah, okay.
I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there.
No, it's gonna lead to a dead end. Alright, let's play it out. Let's see if maybe I'm wrong. http.getAsync. And we're just going to use a random Google authorization. It's usually something like ES. Full colon. So let's do the second path of authorization. and let's call it there token ID. It's token info. I have to look it up. Been a very long time. Then we're just gonna make this equal to the ID token. We don't have one yet though. Let's do HTTP client. There we go. Put this back. Okay. So this is the problem. I'm gonna deal with the problem first and see where it goes. This feels like a recursive problem. So string token ID token. See, it's coming up here. What the heck is this? Now it comes up. Oh, Firebase. I guess maybe that's where it's coming from. Where is it? No, it's just Google. Like, I don't know why it wasn't coming up before. Okay. Let's go back to plan 1. When that should have worked the first time. Actually, you know what? We have Firebase now. Let's just... we have Firebase now. Let's just use Firebase. Alright. Alright, let's get rid of everything. There. And we're not going to do this, we're going to just do Firebase. You know what, let's just do using auth. Okay. So let's do first private Airbase auth. Auth. And this is still sort of fresh in my head because I just did this the other day, but I'll figure it out if it works or not. Let's see. Alright, so basically if the task is equal to, oh, not the task result, equal to the dependency status dot available. Then we do auth. Is going to be equal to the fire base auth. I think I messed that up. Yeah, firebase auth dot Volvins. Alright, so all we're doing here is just making sure firebase is ready. That's it. That's all it is. Else we're gonna throw an exception. Actually, just do exception. And let's you using system. We're gonna do that a few times. So could not resolve the firebase dependency. And let's pass in the task result, actually. Okay, awesome. All right. So now going to just do an async here. We're going to pack in the string. It is nullable, though. You're burning me right now. Let's do this nullable. Oh, okay. This is nullable. You know what? Whatever. You can do whatever you like. Alright. So, basically, while auth is equal to we're just going to await so think of this kind of like a coroutine, right? We're just telling it to stop right here, or yield right here, until, and it's just going to keep doing this every. You can't really call this a frame because this is operating asynchronously, but that's kind of what it is. Well, not really. It's going much faster than a frame, but whatever. Alright, so you just need to get the Firebase user now. Oh, awaitables? Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. It doesn't really make a difference to me. It's like this gets called once in the very beginning of the game. Doesn't make it not a big deal. Awaitables are pretty cool though. I use them in my the racing car game. Enjoyed them. Nice and compact. I like it when code knows exactly what its purpose is. Oh wait. var so this is in case now if we have no user, so let's actually do this. If user is going to be equal to null, let's make it. All right, have a good night, man. Or um okay, so this is going to be temporary, obviously. We're going to make a decision here. Actually, you know what? We don't need this. In this game, it's going to log you in automatically as anonymous if you don't have if Firebase did not find an ID for you. All right, so var on. Oh man, my. Let's keep this civil. Yeah, var anon. Result is going to be equal to the await auth. It's fine with credentials, async, and we call that there. Oh, maybe not. Fine in anonymously? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Right, and so now we can just do user is going to be equal to that user. And now we just need to refresh the token. So we can just do string token is wait user dot token sync, and we just put false here. Right, and now we return token. Okay.
Everything that brought me alive, going wrong like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi.
All right, you win. I'll do it this way. Guess not. Doesn't make sense to keep this around. Nice. Okay, so this should now be able to get us our token from Firebase. Right? It doesn't matter what we use to log in, because we're just relying on Firebase's internal setup instead of creating our own. Which, as you saw, was about to create a problem. So, that's cool. we just grab Firebase, say, hey Firebase, who is this person? If we don't find something, we'll just create an anonymous for that person, and push the token out. So now that we get a token here, we can go back to our game manager real quick. So over here is where the magic needs to happen now, right? We need to inform that token that, hey, we actually have an account tied to this person. Now, there's a problem with this that I was talking to someone else about, and it's the same problem I think you're going to bump into even without this system. If somebody is on Google and then they jump over to iOS but aren't using the same account, this has no way of really saying, hey, you're the same person, right? Because they're on an entirely different account. So it makes sense, right? Even though it's the same person, you don't know that this account is actually related to this person. So there should be a way for them to say, hey, we want to link these accounts. Right? But that has to happen after the fact, and right now I am way too sleepy to think in that direction. I just want to get what I set out to get done. But it's something to think about. It's something to think about. Alright, so first thing is first, in start game, we have to change this around a little bit. Before we even get to anything else, in start rather. We need to change some stuff. So first we're going to instantiate Firebase, the concrete class that we just made. So we're going to do private IAuth. Pretty cool. And we can just do auth provider is going to be equal to auth provider. Okay, then now we just need to fetch the JWT from Firebase. Well, we actually need some place to store it, so let's just do string token going to be equal to nothing. Yeah. And now we're just going to do try. And we'll just do a token, and we'll just do that this is going to be equal to auth provider dot get the token async. And we need to actually tell this to await and set this to async. Right? To just for now, to let us know that we actually did get something, let's just put a debug here. And then we just set up our catch. And I guess, you know, so now we can just do a debug here. There. Firebase. Authentic. Alright. So immediately when they enter the game, Firebase is going to try to find out who this person is. And we got the token. So let's just do this. We store the token here. Get rid of that. Technically, we don't need this anymore, because internally, Firebase is going to create an anonymous token for us anyway. So we can just do builder going to be equal to builder dot with token. Isn't token a string? Oh, it's a nullable string? Is that what you're crying about? No, you're not crying about that. What are you crying about? An object reference is required for non... Oh! Okay, instance. There we go. There we go. Alright. Is this static? Is that what this is? Oh, it is. I didn't even realize it. Awesome. Awesome. Alright. And then after that, we can just do token. There we go. I like to... Oh, I see what you're saying. I like to do them in start, because I don't need to worry about shenanigans in Awake sometimes. Awake has its place. Sure. But I've hit unexpected behavior dumping stuff in Awake sometimes, so I always feel safer with start. I mean, sometimes I'll still use Awake, it's just... This is just... You know, I don't want to run into unexpected issues and then find out, oh, it's just because I put it in Awake. I want to get this done as soon as possible, and start is just much safer for me in this type of project. But I get you. Alright. So there we go. So now let's see if this works. Well, actually, it's not going to work. Because we're on a PC and we're not on a phone, or so, but we are still going to be able to connect to the game. So, or we should still be able to. Let's check. But we are going to get the debug that's going to tell us if we got connected, or if we attempted to connect to. There we go. Okay. What's the issue? Unable to load Firebase app. Google Services desktop. Are you missing? Okay, hold on. I think I need to restart Unity. Where is this thing? There we go. First, let's go back over here. Make sure that we don't have anything that doesn't... Oh. Yeah. I don't think we can reference Google anywhere, right? Like, this should just be generalized Firebase. There's no Unity, Google. Nothing. Do we reference Google up here? Nope.
Just when I realize you've been shutting me out, I start to reach for the sky and nothing's falling down. Ooh, everybody knows how the story goes, but fairy
Alright, so I think this is just that I need to restart my Unity. It's just telling me that it doesn't notice certain things are in my files. So I'm just gonna restart real quick. Save, yes. That happened before, or something like that happened before. Just restarting fixed it. But if we still get the warning, then... Maybe I didn't just restart. Let's see what it says. Could not locate Google service.json or Google service list file. Why are you looking for them though? Unity debug log warning. Sure. What is making you do this? Like internal to Firebase. Oh gosh, I think I know what it is. Okay. This. You guys won't see it, but basically, alright, so basically you need to make sure that you have your company name filled in and stuff like that at the top of your project and all kinds of I forgot about this. Oh, my eyes. So it's like it's a few steps, right? Though, in order to actually use Firebase, it's not just plug and play. You have to go to your edit, go down to player, assign your company name, and then there's like a part where you need to enter in a URL somewhere. Like your package name or something like that. I always other settings. There's like so many stuff in this drop down, brothers. It's absurd. It has to be. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong area. Android. Publish settings. Oh, that's not it. Other settings. I think this is it. Yeah, package name. That's what it is. And what's this going to be called? I think we're calling this one. Squid Game or Food Game or something like that, if I remember correctly. I think I have the name somewhere. Oh, it's in the game manager. Squid or Food Game. Grab it. Okay. So now that we've set that, we actually have to go to I think we have to go to the Firebase console. So let's close this. Clear. Web browser, where are you? Here we go. Console. .firebase, I think .com. Is that what it was? Nope. Console.firebase. There it is. Console.firebase. Then we're going to just create a Firebase project. It is a very long name, and it doesn't. Can only contain number spaces. What are you talking about? It's literally only alphanumerical here. Okay, there we go. But now we have to create a Firebase project. And then give it the URL that we put into Unity when this thing is finished setting up. I'm not really using it the entire way. Just using it for the authentication. But thank you very much, Sorona. We're actually going to be using, or I'm actually currently using, FaceTime DB instead of Firebase. But we're going to jack into Firebase's authentication, because you can kind of just, like, say, hey, you know. Alright, let's see if that fixed it. The warning is gone. I don't know if it fixed it. I just know that the warning isn't showing. Okay. Oh man, I'm too tired for this. I missed a step somewhere. Give me 1 second. I need to like link the URL.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it, getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began, just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They say, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on
No web API key
shine.
product
You'll surely get
integration.
burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide.
Set up Firebase products.
Quiet, gone to the place where all this began. Just start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn
Where the heck is General? There are no apps. Unity. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna. I guess I'll register them both. And squid for food. Man, it sucks doing this when my eyes barely are like burning. Register app. Okay, here we go. So let's download each one. Next. We already have this. And let's just, I guess, drag and drop them. I don't know what's going to happen there. What does it want me to do? It says open the project window in Unity, then move both your Firebase can. Gotcha. Okay. Let's open Unity. Firebase. Where's Firebase config? Oh, anywhere in the asset folder. Gotcha. So I'm going to put it in the Firebase folder. Would you like to share usage? I don't really care. Okay. So, will this fix it? No. Got further along. Database URL not set in Firebase config. Stop playing. So, there's a Firebase warning. Oh, right. We're actually pointing to our code, so now we can see where in our code we're getting the problems. Line 44 of the game manager. Okay. Okay. So let's add a debug log here. looking for? No. Alright, we just want to know what this is pushing out. If anything. Nothing.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out.
So we're getting stuck here, basically.
Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take.
But we're not getting this one. Means that this is available. It would be really awesome if this works. Okay. Oh.
Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker.
We are getting there. What is it crying about here? Database URL not set in Firebase can.
So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder,
Where is this being called from?
standing in this going.
This has to be from somewhere over here.
We are all one color, standing in the way.
Database URL not set. Okay, right, because we don't have a database with Firebase. So it's just giving us the warning. It doesn't matter. Got it. Okay. This is like it's saying, hey, why aren't you using Firebase? Because we're using a different database. Ate it. Yeah. So now we get the user authentication emulator not set. Right. So this is author line 33. Got it. So line 33 is right here. And so this is failing to allow us to sign in anonymously, is what it's saying.
Seeing monsters at your window. No, you can't sleep. You pretend though you don't have to play the hero. 'Cause I got you like you got me.
Same thing.
The earth shakes when the bombs scream until our last breath, every heartbeat.
This is not right.
You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you tell me you learn, but the chaos is rising, leading the charge, yeah, I'm coming.
Right? Oh, it could. goofing around with stuff until I see one that works. Hmm. It could be a setting on the website. Let me go back. Maybe because I hold on. Next. Continue. Okay. Did it maybe I see the push. Okay, it says that it's enabled. I got a check mark on it. Nope, no bueno. Maybe I need to... I'm going to put these... Instead of putting these in Firebase, I'm going to just actually put them in assets. Maybe that'll fix it. You know what? They have a dependency fixer on Firebase, so let's find out. It'll ping us for exactly what dependency breaks on its own. So let's find out. Oh, we're already calling it right here. Let's do it twice. Why not? Hey, Zipposaurus, I'm doing alright. It's been a while. The 2023? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and we're just going to do it twice. Because what's better than doing it once? Doing it twice. Yeah, okay. Let's do it twice. But we're going to make it a little bit more robust this time. This is going to be dedicated to just finding out exactly what's going on here. So let's find out the var dependency. I'm going to call this dependence status. And we're going to make this equal to await Firebase. Firebase app. What the heck? Whatever. And we're gonna just check dependencies async. So from here, then we're just going to do our check. So if dependency status is going to be equal to the Firebase available. There we go. Okay. This is fun, Serona. Thank you very much. I mean, it's okay. Have a wonderful day. Oh. What the heck? Oh. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. I thought for a second I failed to properly install Firebase. And so now we just gonna do an await. Oh my goodness. Nah, let's not do it. It's just to check. Else. No, we don't need to do that. We can just do this. Debug.log auth. Let's actually find out what's in the default instance. Firebase. Firebase app default instance. Name. Oh, really? What are you working on? Okay. Let's test this out, see if we got it working. Let's save first. Make sure we save. Iron World. Sounds awesome. Okay, so it is pushing Firebase app default. I'll look it up. What is it called? Cayenne Games? Oh, we build world. Oh, wow. What the heck is this? I expected something indie. This looks freaking photorealistic everywhere. Is this the same thing? Cayenne Build Worlds. Cayenne Worlds. That's what I'm looking at. Is it Cayenne Games or Cayenne a video game company? Glitch Wave. Oh, I see. Okay. Mist. Oh, they're the Mist guys. Okay, cool beans. I remember, I think I played Mist way back when. It's good to see they're still around, though. That's awesome. That's awesome. Holy cowla. Google Services and Google Services info. Into the asset folder. So now I'm asking Firebase directly. What the heck is wrong with it?
Take you like a
'Cause
get my fill.
too tired. That's cool. Myst is awesome. I played it like when I was in, I think, high school.
Take my hand, don't let us come undone. You may not see the glow, but I see it shine. Keep holding on 'cause we're too far from done. And I know you could be the one. 'Cause we all live for the love, we all live for the love. Even though we've only begun, we give it all for the love. I'm out of line, praying that our stars align. Until I'm yours and you are mine. I put my heart
Streaming assets?
I'm out on the line, and I know that I'll be fine. Until I'm yours.
I see. Interesting. Do I have one? Yes, we do.
Sometimes you lose away, no we can't define the things that make us stay lost in time. I wake up every day to see a smile. And I put it
Gotcha.
on the line.
We found out the problem, boys.
Could be the one.
We found out the problem.
'Cause we all
I forgot to change my build.
we all live for the love.
Still on PC build. We need to switch over to Android. Which platform? That should fix it. Let's see if that actually fixed it now. Or if I was lied to. Oh, I think that's it. Oh no, I think it crashed. No, it didn't crash. Can I type? Something is going on. I don't know what it is. There we go. Okay, crash now. Well, not crash, but enable Android auto resolution. What is it crying about? Firebase failed to authenticate.
What if I go stronger? What if I get higher? What if I start
Cool.
doing things I know I will regret? I will make my own way. I will not surrender. I will do my best until I get put under. What if I go stronger? 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 What if I go stronger?
Okay. There we go. It is a little bit wonky, but it works. We can now log in through Google or whatever. I still need to figure out what's going on with that, but it what? It's fine. I think Firebase just doesn't like the idea that I'm using a different database. Like, if that's the case, don't just give me only access to your authentication. I'm gonna steal it. Alright. So actually, I think that's it. That's what I wanted to accomplish. I said, right? The ability to use a create my login name, and then also log in through either Google or Android, iOS, or any other platform. So that's awesome. And just hooking in through Firebase that way, basically I didn't have to write the code. Now there's still problems, right? So clear. So when I start, Firebase is just like being really naughty at the very beginning. First it warns me that, hey, you're not actually using a Firebase database. And then it wants to try to fail over here. I'm 56, the game manager. That's right here. Firebase failed to authenticate, right? So this is telling us that this right here, no bueno. Did not authenticate before it tried to apply as to the server. So it made an anonymous one, basically.
Oh my baby, got me staring at you. So I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking with you.
All right, I think I have an idea how to handle that differently. Oh, we don't need to catch anything here. I wonder.
Oh my baby, got me staring at you. So I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking with you. I know it, you know it, we make it.
Is this the place to do it? I don't think so. Let's do it outside of this. What am I doing? Almost done. All right, let's try it now. Fantastic. There we go. We're good now. Alright, we're done. That's it. We actually accomplished what I wanted to accomplish today. I'm gonna try to get some rest, and I'll probably push this out. I guess, because I still need to test what happens when you eat another player. I don't know. I assume that they just respawn immediately. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, we're good. Alrighty. Call it there. I think that's it. Actually, let's do a build on this. Let me get rid of these warnings, though. So we don't need this anymore. Yes, we did do it. I guess we'll leave those there. Yeah. Okay. We'll use this. Okay, we're done. So from start to finish, that's basically how you hook into and pass your data through the database. You also got to see me struggle through setting up Firebase authentication. In short, basically, it has a couple of steps attached to it. First, you need to have the Firestep SDK, the Firebase SDK. Then it's going to come with a series of packages. You go to your package manager. Oh, sorry, you don't go to your package manager. You actually go to your assets, and then you go to import package through your assets in Unity. Go to the folder that it's in, and then just install the authentication part of the SDK. After you do that, you have to make sure that, obviously, your build is set to cell phone or Android or iOS, whatever. Which I didn't do, but now we know that we have to do that. And then you also need to go into your profiles, so that's under Edit Project Settings, go to Player, and then go down to where it says your URL and just change the URL. It'll tell you, if you just read the details on the bottom, you'll see like this. Make sure you go to the tab for Android, go down to the bottom, and then check the little warning. And it'll tell you you have to do like .com, your Unity project stuff, right? Like, or your company name .unity project. Make sure you copy paste that. Go over to console.firebase.google.com. Create a new project, then link your project to your Unity project by passing in that URL, and just setting in your credentials. And that's it. That's basically the whole shebang. Oh yeah, and then you have to get this stuff. These two files. So you can do that by just going into the link the application. It'll go through the steps. You'll get to download these. Just drag and drop them into your asset folder, and you're exactly where I am, basically. All right. That's how you get a cheap authentication system, so you don't have to design one yourself. The only problem you'll get is apparently it'll warn you every time, hey, you're not actually you're using the authenticator, but you're not using a Firebase database. All right, and that's it. Have a wonderful day, folks.